Welcome back. I will continue with walking you through the taxonomy and the resources. So the taxonomy and taxonomy management is what you see here. You press taxonomy in the menu panel and then you can manage all of it in here. So the taxonomy determines how respondents score on the competences. We have a pre-existing taxonomy, but you can either edit in ours or you can add your very own taxonomy. So I'll just quickly show you how you can do it. We'll just try and press one of the taxonomies here. So for example, digital professor, here you can choose what order you want them in. So the item with the lowest number will be in the top of the taxonomy, and the item with the lowest number will of course be in the bottom. Here we have the from score to score, and this is where you decide what the respondent score should be in a given place in the taxonomy. So in this case, if a respondent scores between 89 and 100, they will be in the digital professor of the taxonomy. This is also where you can give it a title and you can give it a description. So that is how you edit the taxonomy. So I will move on to the resources and the resource management, where you add and edit resources. You do that under here, under resources in the menu panel. I'm going to press here, and then you'll get this very long overview of already integrated resources in this case. But this is like the resource universe that we have here. So resources can be used for almost endless purposes. Basically, they're a great way of helping respondents to reflect and improve on their competences. So if you, for example, have some internal learning materials, you can integrate them as resources in the MapUs platform and make it like use them as a way for respondents to go from results to action on their actual competences. Typically, you will have a list of already integrated resources, as you, for example, see here. And this is just how our platforms are set up by default. And these resources are often a good point of departure. But in this editor, you can, of course, always create your very own learning universe as well by creating completely new types or new resources. You can also delete the existing resources if you want to, and then just create your own entire resource library from scratch. So I'm just going to show you how to make a new type and how to make a new resource. And then the easiest way to get to know it is actually to just play around with it a little bit. So we'll create a new type. A new type is the one that you see here that has a bit of a brighter color. So we'll press new type, and here you'll give it a title. So we'll, for example, call it training. So if you have any training materials, you could have a type called training. Here you can give it a description. We'll call it test, for example. And here you can give it an order, you can give it a color, and you can give it an icon. For the simplicity of this, we're not going to do it, but it's just so you know that you can. And this is also where you can, if you had a resource type already, you can delete the resource type. So we'll just do like this, and hopefully it has added the new type. So we will go all the way to the bottom here. And then you can see that the resource type we just created has now been added to the bottom. So now we're just gonna connect a resource to it, and then we can see how that works. So we'll just do a resource, and when you do a new resource, you choose the type you want it to be connected to. So in this case, we're going to choose training, the one that we just made. And here you choose what competences you want that resource to be connected to. So all resources are connected to competences. You can also connect one resource to several competences, but The resources are to be used as learning material to make the respondent reflect and improve on the specific competences. So here you choose what competences you want to connect it to. You can choose as many as you want. Here you also give it a title. So in this case, we're going to call it test. You give it an icon. You can also give it a priority. The higher the priority, the closer to like the top of the resource it is. You can also give it a description, and you can also give it main content. So we're going to do it in just a minute, but first I will just add the resource and then you'll see. So now it has saved, and we'll go to the bottom down here. And then you can see that we added the resource. So the resource is now here, and it is added to the resource type that we just made before. So what is cool is that we have a title test, that's fine. Whatever you write in the basic content tab is what is shown on the front page of the resource. So for example, if we write test here, do like this, you can see that this is shown like on the front page of the resource. But if you fill out the main content tab that you see here, we'll just write this is a test, just for the fun of it. And we'll just press save. Then you make the resource clickable. You make the resource clickable, and here you can add more information. So when, for example, if you have an LMS system that you want to link specific resources to, or if you have like a learning video or like an assignment sheet in a PDF or anything like that, you do that in main content. You add all of this in the main content. And this is what makes resources really valuable, because you can integrate so much learning material that makes the respondent really reflect and improve on their competences.